peoples, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video with your girl. Today's video is going to be an anonymous Q&A. So I did post a link, NGL link, on my Instagram stories, and I asked people to send me questions anonymously. So I do not know who sent these questions. I'm actually so nervous to answer these questions because some of these questions are very kind of invasive, but I promise to be honest and to answer most. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna answer all of them, but most of the questions. Before we get into the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Watch my other videos. First question: do you plan on living in Newcastle permanently? If not, where would you like to live? So the answer to that question is no. I don't plan on living in Newcastle permanently. I don't think anyone plans that, to be honest. I feel like the people who are here because of circumstance. Like, I don't think anyone like willingly stays here. Not that it's a bad like place to stay at, but it's not as advanced as like the main cities. So I feel like people who stay in like small towns, Fullcross, Dundee, Newcastle, I don't know, like small towns in other areas, but I feel like people who stay in small towns, it's because of circumstance, or sometimes they just like the quiet life, they don't like the city life. But yeah, I do plan on moving eventually, not anytime soon, but like definitely my permanent home will not be in Newcastle. I'm too much of like a city person. Like, I've realized that I like the busy, I like having places to go. Like, I'm so bored out of my mind here. It's like everyone is at the same two spots because those are the only two spots you can go to. I like having the option to go somewhere and not meet a single person. Like, I like being able to walk around knowing that I'm not even gonna run into like someone I went to school with, or like someone like my parents know, anything like that. I like that comfort, especially when I'm like in Joburg. But Joburg is not, it doesn't give raise your family. Joburg gives hustle. You go to Joburg to hustle. So I don't know where I want to permanently reside. I feel like I'm still in the early stages of my life, so I don't have to make that permanent decision. And my son is still small and he hasn't started school, so I'm not there yet. But yeah, I do want to reside somewhere else. Second question: do you miss your life before being a mom? These questions, like, we're really getting into it, like it's really deep. I'd say 50-50. Like, sometimes I do miss like my life before being a mom, and most of the time the things that I miss aren't like you think. Maybe I miss going out and raging all night. That's not what I missed. I thought that's what I missed, honestly. And then until I went out like on New Year's and Sun, I was bored out of my mind. I wanted to sleep. I slept at groove. So that's not what I miss. I think mostly what I miss is like the freedom to do anything with like my time. I miss waking up at whatever time. I miss like not having to, I miss being a lazy girl. To be frank, I miss being lazy and just like spending my time how I want to. I can sleep. Like, before I had a baby, I was taking naps. I took maybe 2-3 naps just because a day. And I like the fact that I could just, pick up and go. Like, I'll be like, okay, I need something from the store. Let me just go. Now I don't have that luxury because I have a baby and I don't have a full-time nanny. But even if I had a full-time nanny, like, me and my son are so locked in. Like, he's so attached to me that he wants to go everywhere I go. So yeah, I do kind of miss those privileges of like being a young girl of just doing whatever I want. Now I have to think about uh, a little human first before I do it. You know, I have to like, even with money, like bro, I'm still not the most responsible with money, but I think I stress a lot now and I'm more responsible. But before, like, I used to take my last money and buy Uber Eats with it. I'm like, ugh, I'll see. I'll see. I can just make noodles and I'll be okay. Now I have to like make sure that I have a little bit of money stashed away in case like the baby needs anything, which sana, I wish my money was for mine only and I just chowed it. On the other hand, I don't miss the loneliness. Yo, sana, like I was so lonely. I was so lonely. Sometimes it would depress me. Like you would think, I think like looking at my like Instagram stories, I was always out with like friends, raging out, being a young girl. But yo, when you go home by yourself and you get so lonely and you just cry and you cry, that kind of depressed me how lonely I was. And yeah, so that's what I don't miss about not having a child. Like, I'm never lonely child. I am never bored. He's always here. Okay, next question. Was baby junior planned? I feel like I already said this maybe in my pregnancy video or somewhere, maybe on Instagram. I already said this, but my dumb ass. I guess you could say he was planned, but he wasn't really planned. You know, like when you're like, yo, I want a baby, and then you have a baby. That was basically it. I said I wanted a baby, and I had a baby, but I didn't actually plan, which is the dumbest thing I could have done. Like, I couldn't have been. That was like, that's one of the peak moments that showed me that like I'm really not as smart as I think I am. Cause what do you mean? You said you want a baby, you had a baby, and you ain't planned nothing out. You don't even have a ring on your finger. Honey, you don't got a J-O-B. At that time, I didn't. You don't have a cent to your name. You don't have a house. You ain't got no car. You ain't got nothing. But you want a baby. Are you mad? Signified. So I think that signified my stupidity. Like that was the stupidest thing I could have ever done. On God. And I can't believe that I was that stupid. Like I still can't believe it. Even today I'm like, girl, what was like something wrong. But yeah, so that's the answer. He kind of was. He wasn't planned, but I knew what I was doing. Given a chance to start over, would motherhood still be something you see yourself in at age 21? Absolutely not. Okay. There's actually never a good reason to have a child at a young age. In your 20s, there's no reason for you to have a child in your 20s. Like, there's no reason. Like maybe 29, 30, 31. There's no good reason to have a child in your early 20s. Just because you still have a lot of like development to do. And it's not like you can't develop muscle nengane, but it does kind of slow down like certain parts of your life, I may say. So even if you can financially afford, like maybe like being young and then having a baby and then you can financially afford that baby, at that point, you still haven't established yourself financially to the point where you have surety that you will still have the same stability that you have now in the next coming 5 to 10 years, you know? You can't tell me that at 21 years old, you have you have savings in order. At 21 years old, you have a house, you have a car, you have all these things that are needed, for stability in terms of like raising a child. There's no way. Like 21, you're just graduating, or you're in your third year. You graduate in your third year. So, and for me, I had to start all over. So as far as school wise, I had to start a new degree and just start over in life basically, which was kind of easy for me to do because I was not far in life. I had just arrived. So it was easy for me to like start over, and but still, like, I wouldn't motivate people to do that thing, or like if I was given the chance, I would definitely I would have junior like at a later stage in my life when I've developed like fully, not just financially, but like emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all of the alleys, financially. So yeah, that's my answer. What's one dream you've had all of your life? Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but I have always dreamed of like being a singer, like a performer, like on stage, like Beyonce. And when I was younger, I believed I was the next Beyonce Kesana. Nobody could have told me I was the next Hannah Montana. I was the next Beyonce. I was the next Nicki Minaj at some point. I thought I wanted to rap. But then I grew up and I realized, okay, girl, you're not that good of a singer. Let's start there. You can hold a note. You can be in a choir. You can sing at church, maybe. You can sing, a little song at your school talent show and maybe, get third place. But you're not a great singer. You're just like not horrible. So then that dream, like I sort of discouraged myself from that dream slowly but surely. Yeah, but that was like the number one dream I had growing up all my life, and majority of my life, until I realized about okay. You don't have the pipes, but see, you're not like we're not. You would have more kids, and would you? Okay, I think you wanted to say, would you have more kids? And would you want to get married with your current partner? Would I want more kids? Absolutely not. I have no room for another child in my I hope God never thinks to bless me with such a thing. I don't want to have more children ever. Not even in the next 10 years. I don't ever want to have it. In fact, if I could personally go and ask them to remove my womb now, I would let them. So this question, it's a girl basically asking me a question about her, like she wants advice on her situation. So we're gonna read it. My boyfriend, I'm already bored. My boyfriend wants a baby, and I'd love to have his baby because he's responsible. But my problem is that I'm not working. Girl, but I am actively looking for a job. I'm terrible at asking for help and I don't want to be dependent on him. Gingani. Emotionally, I am just that. Financially, I'm not. We've been trying, but it's not happening. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Let me tell you something, girl. Nothing is wrong with you. God is trying to protect you or to stop you from making the biggest mistake of your life. Let me relax so I can answer this the nicest possible way so you can actually hear me and actually take my advice. You do not. I know this sounds very hypocritical, but I guess you can take it from a perspective of okay, I've been through it, so you take my advice. You do not give someone a baby and he has not even married you. Number one. You need to ask yourself this question. He wants you to have his child. A child is a long, it's a long life decision. Okay, a child is there forever until you die. And he has not made the commitment to make you his wife. I know people say, oh, marriage doesn't do anything. You can still be a single mother while you're married. Duh. But you can still get in a car accident and you can still get hurt if you have a seatbelt on. But does that mean that aswafaka ma seatbelt? Marriage is a seatbelt, not just for you, but for your children. You said that you are not working, ne? So you're gonna be fully dependent on this man. What happens now? If you get pregnant, you have his child, and then he sees how difficult or hard, because this is what happens in most situations. He sees how difficult, like, raising a child is, and how financially straining it is, or emotionally. You guys are gonna fight after you have a baby. That's a guarantee. Even people who are in love, they end up fighting the first 3 months of having a newborn, because it's a frustrating time for the mother and it's a frustrating time for everyone involved. Like, the newborn stage doesn't play. Ne? You guys are still trying to find your way and find yourself in parenthood. You're still trying to learn how to be a mother. He's trying to learn to be a father. Most of the time, you're gonna get frustrated with each other. That's just what happens. And most relationships, they don't last because of that. Because of ingane iyacomplicates izinto in a relationship. Mase khona ingane complicates. It's no more fun and games. It's no more siyathandana. It's like real life now. You guys are gonna be in love, but you're gonna like see the other side of love. So what happens when he feels like, okay, Mara, this is too much for me, and he leaves you and this child? Are you gonna be able to go follow the line kwasasa uyo collect a grant every month? Is that what you want for yourself? Because if you're not married to him and he's your boyfriend, he could just be like, okay, I don't want to be a part of this bounce. And marriage serves as an extra layer of protection, because now you're his wife, you're entitled to half of everything he has. Or even more, actually, you're entitled to what he has. So you get more rights as a divorced wife than as a baby mama. You know, you get more child support. You can get all types of elements depending on how you got married. But my point is, you need a seatbelt. You need to put on a seatbelt before you get into a car. And this car that you want to get into, called a baby, having a baby with a man, put on the seatbelt, which is marriage. Now, one, tell him, I'm not gonna have a baby with someone who has not made a commitment to me for life. So it's either uyahamba. I don't know if you're black or white, but if you're black, uyahamba uyolobole ekhaya, uyangishada, siya esontweni siyashada. Simple, and then we can have a child. But I'm not gonna give you a child as your girlfriend. That's not gonna happen. That's absolutely, he's responsible now because he has not felt how it's like to be a father. I tell you that. Umnandi umjolo yazi umnandi kanjani before kungena ingane. Umnandi ubadizi nje ube semathandweni anzima. You do all sorts of things that you never thought. You feel all sorts of things that you never. Kuba sengathi High School Musical uTroy no Gabriella. Mayisifika ingane. Real life sets in, and most of the time, like, it's too hot, the stove is too hot for the madodas, and what do? They run. That's why you have to protect yourself, especially because of siblings. So it's selfish and irresponsible for you to have a child ungasebenzi and think you're gonna rely on a boyfriend, not a husband. If this man was your husband, it's a totally different situation, because like, you'd be a housewife, and housewives, yeah, you still own whatever he has because of your marriage to him. But ngoku we girlfriend, we are uyakujwayela kahle kahle. Uyakujwayela ucabangela kancane. He doesn't think that much of you. If he thinks that he can like tell you to have a baby and then not marry, who the hell does he think he is? Actually, you need to look at it as he's disrespecting you. Slim. And clearly now because the fact that you're considering this, I'm sorry. The fact that you are listening to you're even trying. What are you trying? What are you trying? Uzamantoni. Guys, sometimes you need to like, if you're thinking of doing something, I feel like the best option is for you to tell your parents. Because, no, just think to yourself, is this something that I'd be able to tell my mom? Mama, I'm trying for a baby with my boyfriend. If it's not, it's a bad idea. How does that... Befana nje umfana ngempama utshela ukuthi ukufuna izingane engakaza kushada. Manje akaza keep ngisho ufini ukufuna izingane. Uyadelela shemsi. I hope uyayibona lento ukuthi uyadelela. And if you know what's good for you, you better run to the nearest clinic. Get on some type of contraceptive what. Otherwise, uzokhala sis. Ulayini. Ikhadi lesasa uzoliphatha. Usasa uzoliphatha. Mawuqhuba ngale ndlela. Utshela ukuthi lalela la buti. Khona ezinye izinto ezingezenzeki makungenzekanga o1 2 and 3. Phelile. If usaba uzokushiya ngamana kushiye. No usakushiye nengane. Ngwana kushiye manje wana ngane. Khona uzokuthanda. No utakushiye nengane. I hope uyangizwa. What happened between you and your friendship, or you and Sarah? I loved your friendship. It's like, it's not that deep. Maybe it is deep, but I'm not gonna get into it because I didn't get into it with her when I ended the friendship. I just kind of like ghosted her. I kind of like, it's not funny, but you know, I love it, everything. It's kind of sad. But I just kind of like blocked her, and then actually tried to ask me if I blocked her, and I didn't say anything. I just like ignored her. So it would be very unfair for me to now say to you guys and like tell the internet people like why I did what I did, if she, the person in question, does not know till this day. I feel like she probably has an idea, because I mean, my actions are you know what you're doing, you know your actions towards certain people, you know okay, I did something to this hand, but she doesn't know like the root cause. Like maybe she thinks it's one incident. It's like it was like a build-up. Let me just say that it was like a build-up of things that I felt like were not friendly from her as someone who's supposed to be like one of my closest friends. I just felt like she didn't have my interests at heart, not even my best interest, just like my interest. She didn't have me as a thought. I was an afterthought, and so I didn't like that. So I decided to just remove myself, which is something that I do a lot. Like one thing about me, doses. One thing about me, maybe it's because I have abandonment issues. I get maybe, but yeah, that's the whole gist of it. I'm not gonna get into it too deep, but like things happen, man. Friends come, friends go. I don't hate her. She knows that I don't hate her. I'm rooting for her at the back. That's what they say. I'm rooting. So yeah, that's just that. Thank you guys for watching. Please do tune in to my previous videos if you haven't caught up. I think I have 3 new videos. Yay me! Okay, and definitely look out for more videos ahead. We are on the road to 6,000 subscribers. I am so grateful for the 5,200 of you guys that are on here, and I'm grateful that you guys are actually watching my stuff. Like, I thought you guys were gonna like shun me from YouTube because I've been missing for like a year, which is like scary, girl. But I'm on my Zoom, as you can see. And Ngiyabonga, thank you for the support. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe, share the video. I'm gonna see you guys in my next video. Goodbye, toodaloo.